So one is, I think we forget how hard it is to run the machine because it's been running well for a long time. It's just a fact of life. It's human nature. We see it with everything. I mean, in other countries, we're seeing it with vaccination, right? People are taking for granted the fact that we have herd immunity, so no need to vaccinate their kids, and now seeing the price of that. And I agree with Nick.
Measles is coming back.
Measles is coming back. People forget or people don't know today how grateful past generations were when things like the polio vaccine or measles vaccine were invented. And so it's really, generational memory is short. Right? And so I think we forget how hard it is to run the machine because it's been running really well for a long time. I don't think it's fear-mongering to talk about the instability in the global environment right now, because it is, I think, more than it's ever been for most of living people's lifetimes.
I think so, yeah.
With a few kind of grandparent, great-grandparent exceptions that we have in Singapore. So I think this concept that we can do what we want with our politics and still survive is a dangerous one.
Yeah.
I think that we should cast votes the way we want to be governed, meaning you should not cast a protest vote simply to make a protest. I think it's getting to the point where that's dangerous. Vote for the party that you think will do a better job. And that may not be the ruling party, that's fine. Vote for the party that you think will do a better job, because right now we need the free market of the democracy to work as well as it can. We need perfect information as much as we can in order to navigate this environment. Nick is completely right when he says we're not a normal country. And I've heard people talk about how it's okay if our politics goes to shreds because the civil service is so strong. Honestly, civil servants are called civil servants for a reason. We serve the politics of the day. And if the politics of the day are in a mess, I can assure you the civil service will have to devote so much more time, energy, resources, and thinking to just navigating that mess versus actually solving the problems people want to solve. So I'm not saying you should vote one way or another for one party or another.
And we are a very lean civil service.
You are a very lean civil service. So I'm not saying vote for one party or another. I'm just saying vote for the party that you want to do the job and that may or may not be the ruling party. The last thing I want to say is, this point about the vision. And I wanted to add this in because I don't want to be the person who goes to an interview and is like, oh, we need better thinking, we need better solutions, and not actually trying to come up with anything. So I was thinking, what could a vision look like? What would be a concrete image that people can hold on to as, okay, this is what our government thinks is important and that's what they're going to drive towards. At first I thought maybe, with all the instability happening, kind of an oasis of calm in a choppy sea. That's an image I think people can appreciate because the sea is choppy and an oasis of calm is something that's very, very valuable, not just for the residents on the island, but for anyone else who needs to find safe harbor. But that is still a little bit abstract. I mean, another way could be we want to be the scientific city of the future, right? So this is where we are going to double down on having the best technology, the best precision medicine, the best use of technology in schools. We're just going to use technology to improve lives to a degree not seen anywhere else in the world. Right? Become known for that the way, say, the Swiss are known for the quality of their watches or things like that.
Yeah.
Or it could be, just something to get people excited, right? So, other countries could be like, oh, we're the sporting capital of the world or we are the entertainment capital of the world. I don't think that's where Singapore is going.
You're not going to be the sporting capital of the world?
Well, not since you left fencing, Nick.
I'm still training, still holding out hope.
Oops. Still in fencing. We can now be the sporting capital of the world. But, something, that's what I mean, something tangible to hold on to.
That's great. I think these are very useful parting thoughts. I mean, if I could just summarize for our audiences, and that's really Nick saying that we're seeing a bit of normalization of our politics, but then again, can Singapore, not a normal country or a regular country, stomach something like that, right? And then Sheila's points about seeing the policy change, the politics change, and also whether there is a need for a vision and what that vision may look like, right? So to bring us on that journey forward as well. I think that's also a very important one. We are heading in the direction where there's normalization of politics, as Nick mentioned. And I think your point, Sheila, that people should vote for a government that they want to see govern them, and not because it's a protest vote or not because it's a popularity contest, even then, right? Even though likability is an important question for that, right? But how do we get there? How do we get our politicians to manage being likable, being efficient, being competent, and being having integrity all at once? I think honestly it's a big ask. It's a big ask, and I salute those men and women who step forward to do that, whether they do it well or not. I think the desire to step forward is a big one or not, right? So,
because honestly, would we do it? We're sitting
Probably
here right now. We're not out campaigning.
Yeah,
so
it's
Too
easier
busy
to
doing podcasts like
yeah,
that.
it's easier to talk about it on podcasts.
sitting in an air-conditioned room with
Absolutely.
our
Sipping
glasses
on.
of water.
Yeah.
And so you're right. We again, I referenced the post that a friend of mine made on Facebook, Irvin,
Yeah.
and he's like, they are in the arena. I'm sitting behind a keyboard. We are not the same. And I
Yeah.
think that's absolutely true. It's easy for us to sit here and criticize either party, right? Both parties, all the parties who step forward. But ultimately, they're stepping forward. And if we're not, then we have to at least give them our respect for that.
Absolutely. So as a polity, I think we need to appreciate that, and we need to also be in line with that in terms of doing our part in choosing the right people for the job as well, right? Whoever that person is.